Hey guys, welcome back. Bolt Spider here, and today we're going back to Abhyss. So, what new has been released for them? Snake Lily of the Abyss. It is their spell card that we didn't previously know, but now we know. It is a normal spell card that states, send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard, then if you have 5 or more reptiles monsters with different names in your graveyard, you can special summon one monster from your graveyard. You can only activate one Snake Lily of the Abyss once per turn. So what does this imply? Snake Rain plus Snake Lily is a 5 Foolish Burial on top of a lovely Reborn. So this card is actually very good because it starts a lot of your combos now, and Nihil right here has more of a use. So what we're going to actually do is cut Zoa down to 1 because we want to see Nihil more. Since when Nihil is special summoned, you can add one Abyss spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. This was the only card that was missing to make Nihil actually playable because all the other targets weren't as good. So let's get right into it and see what this deck can do. So first off, we're starting off with double Snake Rain offering and an Abhyss. So we're going to go Snake Rain, sending Curse, Aaron, Nihil, and the Null. And then we're going to trigger Nessie to get a search of a Tsuchinoko. Now, we can either send Odogo Abhyss or Danger Tsuchinoko, but I'm going to do Tsuchinoko because we're going to send Zoa in this next batch. So we're just going to send everything, and then Danger Tsuchinoko's effect triggers to summon out. Next, we're going to activate Zoa, discarding the Ogdo Abhyss, activating the Valkyria, banishing our Nessie from graveyard to summon it. Then we activate our Curse, tributing off Valkyria, activating Curse's effect to summon out the Nihil in graveyard. After that, we are going to activate Nihil, search out Snake Lily, and let's see if we can activate a Null from our graveyard, which we can, and which we are going to. After that, we're going to activate Snake Lily, then Snake Lily is going to send out a Null, and we don't have reptiles with different names, but that's absolutely fine because we already have everything in our graveyard. We could either go into King of the Feral Imps, or we can go Shock Trooper Mighty Frame, but I think King of the Feral Imps might be better because we get a search target. And we still have a normal summon, but that's totally fine. But I think I'm going to go into Shock Trooper instead. Then after that, we're going to normal summon our Zoa. Go all the way up into a 3 material Appaloosa. And this is where we're going to end. Sure, it's not that good, but let's see what else we can do. So this hand, we open up an Aaron and a Null. We're going to activate the Null, and we get to send the Nihil. After that, we're going to activate Snake Rain, discarding Jackalope. And this allows us to send Aaron, Curse, then the Ogdo Abhyss, and a Zoa. Then Jackalope's going to trigger to summon out Danger Tsuchinoko. Tsuchinoko is the one that you always want to have, and we don't have a Null. And we do have a Null. Okay. So that's fine. Since, we can't use Null, that's totally fine because we're just going to curse away the Tsuchinoko. Activate the Tsuchinoko, actually activate Curse's effect to summon out Nihil. And then after that, we're going to grab our Snake Lily. So this is the main option, the main play that you have to do. Now, always make sure to count how many you have, and we only have 5 reptiles with different names. So this is where we're going to activate the Snake Lily. So we could send a Null, and then we're going to use it to summon the lovely Aaron out. Aaron, I feel like, is the better one, because the reason it lets you rip a card out of your opponent's hand, and you get to add a light or dark reptile monster from your deck or graveyard. which is actually very good. Then we're going to normal summon Zoe, activate Null, summon it out. Then we're going to go into M-Frame using 2. Then we can go into the lovely Appaloosa. Or if we had another monster, we could have gone into a rank 8. But I think we're going to go into the IP Master Grana. And this is all that we're going to do, as this board is still powerful, as we're going to go up into either the Avermax or the Nightmare Unicorn for an interruption. Now, what do the other two builds look like? So, Kaijus really don't change much, as this is the only thing that changes. The Kaiju variant doesn't really change much either, but I'm going to do a test hand of the Monarch variant to show you guys what it can do. So we activate with this simple hand. This is totally fine. We're going to reveal the Aether, grab the Pantheism, because the Pantheism is the best card of draw power in the deck, and then we get a Snake Lily, which is a Foolish Burial. So what we could do, we can activate the Pantheism of the Monarch, and we're going to reveal Pantheism. Actually, no, we're going to reveal Domain, and the lovely Pantheism. And we're just going to do the Domain. Next, we're going to go activating the Snake Lily, sending the actual... We're going to send Zoe, because effect is Zoe, tribute off the curse, grab it, normal summon, activate curse's effect, tributing off Zoe, summoning out the curse to summon back this. Now, we would add an Abhyss monster to our hand, but we can't because I forgot to do one thing. And this is why you always do against opponent, which is always a mirror match. So this hand is actually very good because we could easily trade in the Ether, and we get 2 good starters. Activate the Snake Rain, discarding the Zoe to send things like the Nil, the Curse, the Nihil, and the Aaron. After that, we're going to normal summon our Edea, and Edea is going to summon up the Eidos. And Eidos is going to trigger, but that's not going to matter, because we're just going to tribute off the curse, actually the Edea to summon out curse, effective the curse to summon out our Nihil, and Nihil's going to search the lovely Snake Lily. Now, how many reptiles do we have in a graveyard? 3. We won't fully resolve it, but that's definitely fine because something on the lines of Aaron Curse is still very prominent on the field. And only if we had another monster, we could have done more. Like if we also had the other level 8, we could definitely done more. So just have King and Queen on the field, have this set, activate Domain, then we can just activate Snake Lily, and this is going to send the Ogdo Abhyss. And we could actually get the Ogdo Abhyss out by summoning out Null, activating... Oh yeah. Make sure to use the Eidos effect first. That is very important. But overall, Snake Lily gives a lot of new light to the deck. Like with this version, you just dump everything. Well, not really everything, but you really dump a lot. Because it's just insane how the deck can function. Because like off the bat, you're going to want to summon out the Aaron. And then we could just do other things like, oh, I activate my Null to summon out. Then we go into Curse. And then we want to summon out the Nihil. Kaijus are really dead to us turn 1, so we can just grab one back to our hand, but that's not really what we want for this build. as we're just going to go, oh, Meltdown for Alistair. This deck really suits very well with how it really functions, because you get so much advantage over the littlest amounts. Like right here, we're going to go into Alistair the Madness Invoker, and then we could just fire off the invocation to summon out a Macabre using Alistair and the curse in your graveyard. Then after that, we're going to use Alistair's effect, discarding Kaiju, getting an invocation, activating the invocation in the graveyard to grab the Alistair. Then what we're going to do, we can actually, believe it or not, this is one of the best things you could do, but I'm not going to. You could use Alistair and Azoa. But this is where we're just going to activate the Amnesia, tributing these two off to summon out this. This is one of the most optimal boards in this build that you want. And just to have a backup, you can use this, because next turn you still have stuff to do. Like, oh, we could make a Caliga if we want to, which I'm actually going to, using the Zoa and the Alistair. And this is the most optimal board you can get in this deck, because you have the negate, only one effect per turn, which is fine because this is going to go away anyways. And then you have hand loop so if a monster special summoned from your opponent's graveyard, send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard. If a monster is sent from your hand or deck to the graveyard, you can special summon one light reptile from your graveyard. Then you have Aaron, which rips one and adds a reptile that's light or dark. And we have a negate on board. I feel like the invoked variant is going to be the better of the three. And overall, I'm really happy with Snake Lily. It definitely was the card that was needed. And hopefully you guys like this Return to the Abyss, because this deck, I feel like it's gonna do a lot because of how much it just thins out the deck, because Snake Rain is at 3, and if you open up multiples and they go Snake Rain discard and you ash it, they're just gonna Snake Rain discard again. Like, this is why I think it benefits well from the dangers, because you just go Snake Rain discard Nessie, then it's like, oh, I'm gonna ash, return, search out another danger, Snake Rain discard another that danger, and you really don't go minus. But overall, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Tell me down below what you think of these 4 variants. Like the Draco one I haven't updated yet, but it's just the Draco variant that's I built for fun. But the other 3, tell me what you guys think, as I'm always open for feedback. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video.